Welcome to another video lesson, and today we are going to look at some text functions you need to know in Excel. So the first text function is the text split, and the text split helps us to separate a text data, being the full name we have here, into the first name and the last name. So text split, then we have our first argument to be the text, separate that with comma, then we input the delimiter. Delimiter should be a space, and we do that by putting a space into these two quotation marks, and we can ignore the remaining arguments because they are in square brackets, so they can be omitted. Then we fill down our result with the autofill. So let's look at the trim function. And what does the trim function do? Observe this data in column D. The departments are not aligned appropriately. So how do we fix this? Let's try using the align left function, and it doesn't work. So what we are going to do is simply use the trim function to remove unnecessary spaces between this data in the cells. So the trim function removes all the excess spaces in front of the data, and they are all aligned to the left because by default all text functions are aligned to the left in Excel. All the text function does it joins two data in two separate cells into one cell. So the text join, and the delimiter, as we know, is a space. We put that between these two quotation marks. We can ignore empty cells. Then we can add the text we need to add in this function. Then you fill down the results. So let's look at the concatenate function. And the concatenate function is an alternative to the text join. This enables us to join two or more text data into one cell. So the text, and this time around we put in our custom delimiter. So the delimiter is space after our first text. Then we separate that with a comma. Then we add our next text data. Then we have our result right in here for us. So we want to attach units being the kilogram to this data here, and this numbers, this formatted as numbers. So we can do that by wrapping it with an ampersand, then putting in the text data and give us 140 kilogram, so that we can easily identify them as units. And you need to know that this number data has been converted to a text data when anytime we add a text into the formula. So you can use the is text to check. So the is text checks whether a value is text and returns true or false. So if it's a text, it's going to return true, and we have true here. If it's a value being a number, it will return false. So that's it for this session. Stay tuned for the next video lesson.